All right, welcome to another episode of our trading lesson of the day. I hope you're finding these profitable, enjoyable, educational, informative, and I would love to hear any comments that you have. I Today I'm going to talk to something which I think you probably get a lot out of it, and I call it the trading secret of using Fibonacci. As you know, I really love probabilities, statistics, math, and I find them very, very, uh, uh, very helpful in finding opportunities, but also providing targets for you. And this is one of those. Fibonacci's are one of my favorite tools, and again they're pretty much mathematically oriented. So this was I did quite a bit of trades, and I just wanted to share why I chose these. And this was on S&P minis, and what is the reason. And the secret I want to share with you is, as you know, we use the Fibonacci, but what is the probability of hitting our lines the first time? And what I mean by that, as you can see, we've had the sell-off, and it goes from the high of actually yesterday, and we went to the low of again, that was happening. This is on a 5 minutes previous day, and actually, yesterday to today. This is our S&P delay. That means this is not a continuous. So we are going from the beginning of the morning, and what happens that it's a cash market, but it's the futures. So let's see what happened here. We went from the high to the low. And what happens if you're scalping, if you're doing day trading, if you're doing swing trading? I think you will find it informative. Generally, once we decided that this was a low and we see there's been these long wicks, if you want to get into trades, what is the odds of hitting your those Fibonacci lines? So what happens is, as you can see, we've had a bounce, and uh, right here we got in, and very quickly, especially if you're doing scalping. This is on a 5 minute, so you can use 1 minute if you like. We do generally 9 out of 10, 90% of the time, we will hit that 23.6%. So right off bat, you know you have a very good odd of hitting this zone. And then the next target, let's say you have multiple contracts. Number one, that's a quick profit. If you want to continue holding, the next target will be the 38.2, and the odds are about 75% of hitting that. So right again, we are playing probability. So if you get um, a trade, as I said, it could be scalping, could be day trading, or it could be even swing trading if you're losing using longer term. Let's say this is a 5 minutes. On scalping, I would use 1 minute. On swing trading, maybe you want to use 60 minutes or even 30 minutes. So basically, the odds are still in your favor. So you know there's a 75% you will quickly bounce. I'm talking about just a big bounce. So it's not like going, you know, being back and forth, swinging back and forth, just straight up. The next one is a 50%. The 50% line in the zone, you have 60%, 6 out of 10, you will hit that target. So when I got into this position, I knew there's a 60% chance that I will hit the 50%. Now, before that, so I could have taken some profits here, some profits here, and some profits there. Now, the odds of getting into that 61.8%, it goes down probably about 45% or so. And then if we continue going up, the odds of hitting that 78.6% is about 20%. The odds of getting back like a V shape, going back hitting that 100% zone is about 10%. So you can see after we hit that 50%, we retraced. and that was end of the run. Of course, this was a beautiful day. Obviously, if you played general retracements on the Fibonacci, you would have this would have been a very nice trade. We went all the way to the 200%. And at that time, you can see how the Fibonacci's work nicely. We actually sold off. And actually, I did a trade in here as well. So basically, to summarize it, if you see there is, you drew their Fibonacci's and now you want to get into trade, then as I mentioned, you have 90% chance of hitting 23.6%, 75% chance to hit the 38.2, 60% chance to hit that 50% line, 45% chance to hit that 61.8, 20% chance to hit 78.6% line, and 10% going back all the way to the 100% line. So these are your odds. Again, it's like a V shape. I want to use another example. This is on a 15 minutes. So it could be day trading. Also, we could even use a little bit of like overnight and swing trading. Now, this is the opposite. That one went from up, from high to low. This one is from low to high. You see now we found out, well, this is the zone we have struggled to break through. So if I drew on a 50 minutes Fibonacci lines, you see this is our 23.8. So we see how we ended up without violating the 100%, our 0%. We went down, we hit that. We had a pause, but we did not violate this line. Then we went to the 38.2%. Then we hit that the 50%. And what happened? We struggled right there, and that was the end of our story here. So you see how nicely that 50% line became your support. And then they ended up bouncing back and basically came back to the 100% zone. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you're finding these informative. I wish you a great evening and happy trading. Bye for now.